She keeps a Moet Chandon in a pretty cabinet. Bethany cake, she says, just like Marie Antoinette. Building a remedy for Khrushchev and Kennedy. And at a time, an invitation you can...
Turn it on, leave it on. America, see the music you want to see.
I want my MTV. All right.
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV.
24 hours a day on cable TV.
I want my MTV, MTV, MTV! Yeah, too much is never enough.
There is now a danger that has become a threat to us all. It is a deadly disease and there is no known cure. The virus can be passed during sexual intercourse with an infected person. Anyone can get it, man or woman. So far, it's been confined to small groups, but it's spreading. So protect yourself. And read this leaflet when it arrives. If you ignore AIDS, it could be the death of you. So don't die of ignorance.
Of a hat, she's as willing as playful as the pussycat. Momentarily out of action, temporarily out of gas. You're absolutely dry. She's out to get you. She's a killer queen, gunpowder gelatine, dynamite with a laser beam, guaranteed to blow your mind. Recommended at the price, insatiable and appetite. Wanna try? We now know these things are bad for us, and yet we still smoke them. We all do. In our homes, our pubs, our restaurants, in front of our children, even babies. Just think, that baby, that precious little thing, has just been born into the world, a new life, and the first thing he or she knows is the taste of cancer, smoke, filling their lungs. How fucking shitty of us. Seriously, we all love to feed into this addiction, this toxic tar-ridding killer that we love to hold so preciously between our fingers. I swear it's like fucking gold dust the amount we crave this stuff. But fuck it, right? We need it. I tried quitting, even managed it for a while, until tonight. Maybe slowly killing me, but it calms the nerves, you know. Typical, that. You can never have the good without the bad. I went through this phase when I was a kid, right? Some sort of midlife crisis at the age of 8. My mate at school had a baby brother in the hospital, premature birth or something, and after that I couldn't stop thinking about it. How fickle life is, you know. How we cling on, but every day we fear the inevitable, that from the day you're born it's like the hourglass has begun to pour until that final grain of sand has fallen, and then that's it. when I was 10, I saw this cat. It was dead on the side of the road and it had started to decay. I just sat there and stared at it. I was fascinated. This was once a living, breathing creature. Now it was just lying there, its entrails sprawled across the dirt and its little... Sorry, that's quite disturbing, isn't it? Trust me, I'm not some Ted Bundy type. I may have had a fucked up childhood, but I'm not a lunatic. Why are people so obsessed with serial killers anyway? What kind of upbringing they had, why they did what they did, why does it even matter? Speaking of childhood, I rarely saw my father without a drink in his hand. He was a religious type, you know, preaching one moment and drinking the next. A God-fearing man who I feared. My mother liked the liquor a little too much too, but they all did, all her friends. Although they kept it under the pretense of being okay because it was the sociable thing to do. She even had a book club, which was really just an excuse for all the women in a small town to get together and drink and forget about the suburban lives and their shitty husbands. A most unholy communion. But in true Christian fashion, none of them could see the hypocrisy of it all. After all, it's the blood of Christ. And yes, I know what you're thinking. They did the best with what they had, I've been told before. Bullshit. You know, when I was 6, I remember my mum found me trying on a lipstick and heels. I remember her shaking me so hard, I thought I'd be torn limb from limb. Her high-pitched voice screeching in my ear. I was never sure exactly what she told my father after that, but he treated me differently from then on. Never looked at me the same. He took me to our local football team, even took me boxing a few times. I always managed to come home with a black eye. I think that's the only time he'd actually look and smile at me. He'd be so proud. Proud that I had some sense knocked into me. Depressing, I know. But don't worry. He didn't remain my father for very much longer. In fact, he didn't remain anyone for very much longer. He died when I was 15. I'll spare you the gruesome details, but let's just say we most certainly did not have an open casket for the funeral. Everyone wept and said such beautiful things at the service. All lies, of course. It was funny. I remember Uncle Reg coming up to me at the wake, tears in his eyes, trying to connect with me on some emotional we're in this together bullshit, when really all I was thinking was, my God, I haven't seen you in years, you prick. And get the fuck away from me, you stink of lager and that disgusting garlic dip you've been shoved into your gob all afternoon. But actually I just stood there and looked sad. It's easy, you know, pretending you're sad when you're not, pretending you're happy when you're not. Because the truth is, no one cares how you really feel. Everyone expects you to be sad. And so you are. But just imagine if they could have read my mind. I hated the cunt. Harsh word that, hate. But it's true. Oh, after that, it was just me and my mum. Well, the alcoholic pill-popping woman that became my mother. But after that, once I turned 18, I left as soon as I could and stayed with a friend. Well, the gorgeous best fuck of my life that became my friend. I think that's the happiest I've ever been. His name was Michael. Oh, God, he was stunning. And let's just say there's more than one reason why the Germans are famous for their sausage. But it wasn't just about the sex, of course not. You can only tolerate a good shag with no personality for so long. But he was funny. Kind. A gentleman. And too gentle, that's the truth. He was too gentle. It wasn't AIDS that got him. No, the bloody bugger never got sick a single day in his life. He was hooking up this man, this married man. They had this arrangement, you see. Michael was like his dirty little secret, as long as it stayed secret. Well, you can imagine what happened next, right? The wife found out that the children had moved in with his sister. That's what I heard anyway. I told him, I said not to get involved with a man like that. I said time and time again, he doesn't care about you. He'll never accept you, let alone himself. He'll just pick you up and then throw you back down. That's what men do. God. I felt like his guardian or some shit. And I know I'm hardly the Virgin Mary myself, but he was just so good, you know. A good man, a good friend. But he would just mutter, "Du verstehst nicht." You don't understand. He would do that when we would fight. Speak German under his breath like I couldn't understand, but you pick things up when you're with someone as much as we were. But the truth is, no. I didn't understand. Not really. Not then. Anyway, I had to cover for him once. When this man came knocking, Michael hid upstairs and I answered the door to this bruise of a man. The hands that once held Michael so affectionately were now clenched fists pounding at our door. I lied, of course. Told him I hadn't heard from Michael in days. Not knowing how true that would be. And the next day he was gone. I never heard from the married man after that either. The police didn't care. A case like that would end up at the bottom of the pile, never to be seen. But I knew. Well, deep down I knew that man had. I was on my own after that. Yes, men in and out the door, but I was alone. Oh, that is until I met him. Danny. Oh, looking back now, I was a massive hypocrite. Warning Michael not to get so quickly involved when I so easily fell for a man myself. I wonder why that is. I guess when the world hates your very existence, you'll do anything that comes your way. Desperate cling to a life worth living. And it started as all relationships do. A whirlwind of flirtation and passion. Oh, we partied. God, did we party. We took every substance we could find and danced the night away in some seedy club. I loved it. I was living again. I was living my best gay life and it was beautiful. Finally knew what Michael must have felt. I understood. I liked it at first. The parties. The sex. His hands around my neck. Asphyxiation, authoritarian, amatory. It was hot and sexy. Addictive. I felt strangely taken care of. Like I was a child again. God. Is that what I look for in men? Jesus. I hope not. I'll be damned if the next one is anything like him. Do you think anyone would miss him I don't think they will. You have to earn being missed. People might ask questions like, oh, what happened to that fella you were seeing? And I'll just say something like, he left. It didn't work out. And that'll be that. I never met any of his family. And in the 2 years we were together, no one rang or even came knocking for us. So do you think they would even realise? Would they even care? Well, that's the curse, you see. The curse of being a homosexual. Or anything that's different, really. People stop caring. They don't want to know. I used to hate that. But I guess it's a blessing now. Danny was unassuming. That's the issue. People couldn't or wouldn't see what I saw. The small things, you know. The odd comment on what I wore on my body, that's how it started. I tried for a while, you know. Liked what he liked, wore what he wanted me to wear. I even tried drinking beer, but that one didn't last. I was always gagging for a glass of wine by the end of the night. I blamed myself the first time. A little more makeup here, a little more colour there. I guess he saw it as some sort of strange act of defiance he had to extinguish. Sooner or later, I didn't have to apply any more colour. He had that sorted. Makeup is fascinating, don't you think? For every occasion. To look pretty. To look like someone else. To cover something up. I think you can always tell when someone has something to hide. Yeah, I remember crossing paths with a friend in a club not so long ago. He tried his best, but you could just tell, you know. I think it was the eyes. No amount of makeup can cover up those. That was the last time I saw him. I went to his funeral a couple of weeks ago. You know what Danny said to me that exact same night? He said, I'll leave you face down in the gutter if I found out you had that disease, or I'll just kill you myself. Then he just laughed it off and carried on drinking. You see, Danny, he didn't care. He never went to any of the funerals. Our community, our friends were dying, and he couldn't even pull himself away from the couch. What's worse is that I don't even know if I have it. I may do, for all I know. I don't know what you're thinking, go get yourself checked. But it's not that easy. You know, it's not. It's not. Scary. Oh no. More than that. It's fucking terrifying. You know, I may not die from the disease, not everyone dies, but that's the least of it, you know. It's easy. Painful, yes, sometimes it's excruciatingly long, but easy enough. All you have to do is lie there, let the virus do its thing. Not much you can do about it, really, but living with it. Being labelled with it, like you're married to the fucking thing. That's all people will see me as, and I know, because I do the same. Yeah, I hear a friend has come out as positive, and I really wish I didn't, but all I can see is that grey cloud hanging over them, so what do I do? Nothing. No, just as I got hooked on that bastard, it was him that got me hooked on these bloody things. He may be gone, but I don't think these will be so easy to stop. Not sure what I'll do with the body, though. There's so many people dying out there. Don't anyone would bat an eyelid. Just another one. He's wrapped up in some tarpaulin back there in the kitchen. He was in one of his usual states. See, Danny's the worst kind of drunk. He's a violent drunk. Well, you know what kind of drunk I am. I'm a chatty one. The body's starting to smell, though. I thought the bleach from when I cleaned up the kitchen tiles would mask it, but no, I can still smell him. Not the usual stench of booze and cheap aftershave, like something's gone off and it's gone rotten. And my God, his farts stink. I swear I saw something come from his body earlier. My mind freaked and went straight from that scene from Alien. You know when that guy's chest bursts open? But I read that's what happens, you know, after death. Not the alien thing. All that gas. Well, it's disgusting, right? See, I didn't think I could do it, but when I turned my head away to get away from the bad breath and projectile spit, I saw the bottle on the kitchen counter, and the next thing you know, he's on the floor and I'm... It's strange. You know what my first thought was when I was standing over him? It was, what a waste of a good Bordeaux. Do I look like a murderer? I don't feel like one. Well, I know technically I am, but why don't I feel like one? Something does feel different, though. Like a weight has lifted. A heavy, tiresome, ever overbearing weight. Painful, even, but not searing pain. No, it's different to that. Or patient. Like a part of it was never knowing when it would happen next, and it's gone. It's gone. Honestly, it feels fucking fantastic. The house has never been so quiet. He made so much noise when it happened. I thought the neighbours might hear, so I put one hand over his mouth and the other over his nose and just pressed down. And he wriggled and flailed about like a fish out of water. Till he stopped. After that, I needed some time to think, you know. But then, once I looked back, I wasn't 100% sure he was dead, you know. Well, because when his dick had started to stiffen, and you know, and it was rock hard, like he's popped a couple of pills of Viagra hard, and you know, in a panic, I started wanking him off. I thought that might do the trick, you know, pump some life back into him, but he was gone. After that, he got even more cold and rigid, and that's when I wrapped him up. Michael loved this song. He saw Bowie live in concert. He would not stop talking about it. And I miss that. His love for music, his soft, delicate touch. The way he smiled. Like he'd not a care in the world. He would just take me by my hand and we would dance.
There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children use it, let the children use it, let all the children do get.
It's just Saturday night, for Christ's sake. What the fuck am I doing? I should be out. Maybe even pull a guy. Why not? I'm single now, aren't I? Although I couldn't bring him back here. Imagine the look on his face when we ripping each other's clothes off and then we trip over my dead boyfriend. Well, my dead ex. I'm pretty sure I screamed it's over before I, all a bit of a haze, to be honest. I could deal with him tomorrow. Why the fuck not? I can do what I want now. Just a little touch up before that's all. Oh, perfect. And now what shall I wear? What shall I wear? No. God, no, I haven't. I should have chugged that out years ago. Now then, yes. Think this is the one. God. I'm a mess. No. Us girls spend too much time on our makeup just for it to be ruined by a man. No, I'm not wasting my tears on him. Not anymore.